my goodness. Is Zed from Zedster's Lab. I'm sitting in my private sitting room. Hubby is in my bed. And I'm trying to look presentable, but today it's kind of a challenge. So, cheers. Thanks for once again just taking me as I am. So, today it's all about vain imaginations. So hubby and myself is not feeling well. We're a little bit off, physically speaking. And yesterday, as I was sitting and I was drinking my tea, I made this beautiful, wonderful rooibos tea, and I put in cinnamon and honey and lemon. And I was sitting drinking my tea on my couch, and I was looking at a soapy on the TV, just a real something that makes you feel good. And I had my crochet big jacket on, and I felt loved. In the midst, take note, in the midst, it is lockdown 4 once again in South Africa. So everybody, close to you, wherever they sick. And now hubby and myself, we're also not feeling too well. And then I read the following. And after that, I really experienced peace that passes understanding. There's just no ways that the flesh and the ego can experience this this much peace in the midst of this pandemic worldwide thing that's going around. Now listen to this. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. And a couple of days ago, I found this, and it is really speaking to me, really loudly. Even the midst of this, let's call it dis-ease. I don't want to call it sickness. I don't want to call it disease. But listen to this. It's dis-ease. I don't feel ease. I feel a little bit dis-ease. So in the midst of the dis-ease, I am still experiencing peace and joy that surpasses my understanding. So in the midst, listen again, be content with what you have. Even if we have this dis-ease, be content with having whatever we're having. Be content with it. Make peace with it. Isn't it awesome? It's not saying change it, have more faith, pray, fast. It says, be content. In whatever situation you may find yourself, be content with what you have this moment. Isn't it awesome? So, it's just, I don't know, I'm exciting. I'm exciting about this good news of not having to be in control, of not having to change situations so that I feel better or whatever, just to be content with what you have, whatever it may be. Rejoice in the way things are. Oh, rejoice. Not because things are going your way, or things are going the way that you believe it should go and wants it to go, but rejoice in the way things are. So I am really experiencing peace and joy in the midst of this situation my hubby and I find ourselves in. When you realize there is nothing lacking. Oh my goodness. What happens when we judge? We always judge situations, and immediately when we don't like it, we judge it as bad. And then we want to change it. We get angry, fearful, frustrated. We blame everything and everybody else. But when we stop judging situations, we stop fearing, because we realize nothing is lacking. In the midst of my body and hubby's body not feeling is a feeling, not feeling 100%. So what? I'm not judging it as good or bad. I'm just realizing nothing is lacking. Because once again, that brings me back to the life, abundant life that is in us. The life is perfect. There's absolutely nothing lacking in the abundant life that we are flowing in, walking in, that is ours. Even though my body doesn't feel 100%, I don't lack anything. The abundant life is still in me, still providing for me, guiding me, leading me, protecting me. Whatever I need, the life in me is still perfect. So nothing is lacking. Isn't it amazing? So when we start to realize those things, we realize you being content with what you have, whatever it may be. Be content. Rejoice in the way things are. This is the way it is. So what? I lack nothing. Everything is perfect. The life in me is still the abundant life, guiding me, leading me. So why fear? So then listen to the last bit. The whole world, when you realize all these things, the whole world belongs to you. It's just absolutely amazing. And what I'm doing is I'm sharing this good news that I am experiencing in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, in the midst of fear that is destroying and killing. Not physically, I'm not talking about physically here. I'm talking that fear destroys the abundant life that is ours now. So I am in awe, really, in the midst of this, how I am feeling and experiencing whatever is happening now in this house with me and hubby, and the joy and the peace that I'm experiencing. And then, that thing that we must always guard against, guard your heart. Do not fear. Do not allow fear to enter into your soul and spirit. Do not allow fear to enter in. Block vain imaginations. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to understand what that means. Vain imaginations. In the midst of what I'm going through now, I've got two choices. I can either be content with what's happening, what I have, rejoice in the way things are, realize that I lack nothing, that is the one thing, or I can worry about tomorrow, fear tomorrow, fear and listening to all these vain imaginations. What's a vain imagination? Things like, but what if we have COVID? But what if we need to go to the hospital? What if hubby dies? What if I don't even want to think. I don't want to go and grab vain imaginations from all over the place. That's not things that is not happening now. That is a vain imagination. I can take this, whatever what's happening in our life, in our house, not feeling well, feeling some dis-ease, I can blow it totally out of proportion with vain imaginations. I can drive myself absolutely crazy. I can be in such fear and dread that I will become physically so ill that I can not cope. That is why we need to guard our hearts. Do not go there. As soon as my mind, that's always my enemy, starts to go into the so-called future and trying to drag things out of the past. Oh, when you felt like this years ago, then you had to go to get antibiotics, and then you had to go this, and then I can do it. I'm free to do it. But if you do it, you're going to pay the price. And that price is such fear that it can absolutely destroy, steal, kill, and destroy the abundant life that is in us. So guard our hearts. Stop vain imaginations. Don't go there. As soon as my mind starts to race and try to bring into my awareness things like, but what if this happens, and what if that happens, and what if, I just let it go. I don't entertain it. Don't entertain strangers. That's what it means. Vain imaginations. Don't entertain strangers. Don't entertain lies, what ifs. Don't allow self-pity to enter. Guard your heart. And we've got to grow to that place where we experience peace and joy in the midst. And we can only do that when we realize that be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, I am in need of absolutely nothing. I don't need healing because the abundant life is in me. I don't need anything else because in this moment, inside of me, I've got abundance. I got what I need to live victoriously. But listen to this, through this moment, in this moment, the abundant life is flowing through me, providing me all my needs. So I need nothing else. I'm in need of absolutely nothing else because I already have, and you have, the abundant life leading me, guiding me, protecting me, whatever, with what I need right now. So that need's already met because I possess the abundant life. So fear not. Rejoice. All is well. I'm in need of nothing. But the only way that I can ever experience this peace is when I do not allow vain imaginations to enter, when I do not allow fear to rise up in me, take hold of me, when I stop listening to my mind with all its reasonings. That is what it means to experience heaven now. And it's always now. You know what? Whatever I need now, it's already provided for me. So let's say, if I need to go to the hospital now, or in a day's time, because that will also be now. When I get there, it will also be now. So in that now, all my needs will be met. I will know exactly what to do. The doors will open, doors will shut. Whatever I need will also then be met. So why allow myself to run around and picture things in my mind? Create, let's call it that, create things in my mind, things that might happen, and start living there when all my needs are met now. So thanks for listening. Thanks that I can share this with you. And this is absolutely life-changing. And once again, all my needs are met. Because when I've found myself in this situation with me and hubby all of a sudden both not feeling well, I had this little verse or thing that was just there, just providing for me everything I need to rejoice in what I have, to rejoice and not fear, to just enjoy this moment. It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, hubby is in bed resting, he's working on his laptop. When he's not feeling good enough, he rests. I'm doing my thing. I feel like really going to paint a large A1 painting, flowers just full of color, just loose, just more throwing paint, and just rejoice in the abundance that's mine. I live and flow and walk, and not only me, all of us, you as well. We've got that abundance. All we need to do is guard our hearts, our minds. Keep the enemy out. Lock the door of the vain imaginations that try to come in and steal and destroy the abundant peace and joy, power, and whatever I need that's already in me. So cheers, have a fantastic day. I'll keep you posted. Perhaps I'm going to paint, then you will see it on my Facebook page and all over the place, and perhaps not. Depends what the life in me wants to do. So there's no pressure. There's no stress. There's no, you need to believe, and you need to pray, and you need to fast, and you need to fight the devil. The fight's over. As soon as you experience peace and you stop fighting your mind and those vain imaginations, peace that passes understanding floods your soul. So the war's over. Abundant life is in us. River of life flowing mightily through us, where all our needs are met. I have everything that I need in this moment to live in absolute peace, joy, and power. Right now, I'll end with this again. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Cheers.